Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're playing another Total War Warhammer 2 Battle Replay. This is a community cast sent in by FeLKoN, and this is a joy. This is a joy. I've already casted one. I think might have gone up yesterday, day before maybe. I don't know the order I'm putting these in, but this will come afterwards anyway. I've already done a Wood Elf versus High Elves game this week, and I've already said it's a sucky matchup. It sucks, right? It's just awful for Wood Elves. Which is why it's so good to see more of these games coming in, because it's not an easy matchup. It's so one-sided. People rarely play it, and if they do, it's just like, oh well, what's the point of that, right? That's not a replay I want to keep. I accept the loss, whatever. Let's move on with our lives. So it's great to see these really interesting matches, which is why it's such a pleasure to be casting this. So FeLKoN here, he's actually against Lotus Moon. Right, so this isn't just, you know, any old guard ladder or anything, right? It's not just some guy, you know, for all we know, might have had the game a day. No, this is Lotus Moon. If you don't know who Lotus Moon is, he's the kite player. Right, I don't mean that in a negative way. I know a lot of, he gets a lot of flack for it, but honestly, bringing a ton of sort of skirmishing units, it isn't as easy as it looks. Right, people think it's like, oh yeah, of course they're going to win. You just keep everything at arm's length. Do you realize how difficult it is to do that? To actually keep your army from getting like caught out and chopped up bit by bit. It is tough. It is not easy by any means. And Lotus Moon is brilliant at it. He is really good at this. So FeLKon's got his work cut out for him. So here, Wild Hunters of Colonel. Oh yeah, it's paused because of Vanguard shenanigans, as always. So anyway, Wild Hunters of Kernos. These guys, Guardian, great combat stats, really reliable unit. Love them. Also, more Wild Riders, and the Sisters of Thorn. Sisters of Thorn, great women. I love these. They are so good. So poison missile damage, super useful in any situation. Also, fairly good combat stats. Really nice high physical resist at 40%. So unless you're hitting them with magic damage, you're going to do a lot of work, which is pretty cool. So Curse of Anra here. Brilliant free spell. Shield of Thorns, brilliant free spell. Now gives physical resist and weapon damage instead of, it used to be missile resistance. It used to be more missile resistance, which would have maybe been nicer here. Hard to tell, but it's nice. It keeps things simpler than its physical resist anyway. Still great free spells and really capable units. Also, here you can see he's got a Glade Lord and a Dragon. I know, against someone who's notorious for bringing a ton of ranged units, it's pretty bold to go with a dragon, you know. Potential net of Amantok, and this guy's gonna melt. But no, he's going for it, and it's not the Glady. It's not the Glady. No, it's a man lord, which we never see. But there's a good reason for bringing him. Helm of Discord, great item. Really good item. I don't know how long he's had this, because I never use him. But yeah, Helm of Discord's brilliant ability. It is super useful. Also, he does a Call to the Woods for the extra melee attack for nearby units. And he has the soporific breath, of course, because he's a dragon. He's a dragon. He's got poison and magic damage, and he's a dragon. That's, yeah, I should write reviews on units, shouldn't I? Anyway, Loex Tricksters, fantastic unit. Really love these as well. Really good armor-piercing anti-large. Really good combat stats. Huge melee defense. Pretty naked. They're going to get shot to pieces, you know, if you let them. But this isn't the sort of build that's going to let Lotus Moon have the time to shoot much. Also, Spellsinger of Life, so more Shield of Thorns, which is really cool. Also, an Awakening the Wood, really good for slowing things down. That minus 48 speed is really handy, and it does some damage too, which is good. Weak against armor, but you don't tend to see a lot of armor when Lotus Moon's playing. You tend to go with very light builds, except they're sort of heavy cavalry, but slowing them down's good and whatever. It's all good. Earthblood, got to heal, always good. More Eternal Guard with shields, so a few Eternal Guard, and some Dryads as well, so they can go a little bit further forward, and a final unit of Wild Riders. So a huge amount of mobility and damage potential. I love to see this. This is really cool. Also, over here, Lotus Moon's army, kind of as you'd expect. So, a couple of very strong cavalry for plugging in the gaps. You know, something tries to go in one angle. Dragon Princes get in the way, do a ton of damage because they're Dragon Princes, right? But they're all going to be supported by the huge amount of archers. So he's got two normal archers here in his front line, consisting of a lot of white lions. I'm not sure what he's expecting with the white lions, actually. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, they do have some missile resist, which is kind of nice. They do have the armor, but things like Eternal Guard actually trade fairly well against them, because Eternal Guard do have the armor piercing. So it's interesting to see the white lions. I'm not sure what he was expecting, but they're capable units nonetheless. Also over here you can see a ton of Shadow Warriors. There's 4 units of Shadow Warriors. That is a lot of missile damage. Non-AP, but you don't normally need it, you know? It's not important. Also, Alariel. So if we look, these guys all have magic damage right now, because Alariel's nearby. That is a problem. You know, there are certain units that rely on physical resistance, and the spells as well, giving physical resistance. That's not going to help anymore because of the magic damage. So if Alariel's nearby, that spell isn't going to have as much of a use. So that is interesting to see. That is very interesting. So I like to see that, though. This is cool. This is a cool build. I like this. But can you imagine the micro to manage this properly? He's tough. This is what Lotus Moon does. So, speeding things up. Lovely. So he's charging in. A bit of bobbing and weaving with the Wild Riders. Pulling back a bit, but then he decides, no, let's do this. So he starts charging in. So it's still bobbing and weaving a bit, but in a second he's just going to go all in. He's going to go all in with these Wild Riders. So these guys are coming in the other way, and Lotus Moon has to reposition. He has to reposition. He needs to pull back, so that way his Dragon Princes can actually cover this area, you know, well enough. So he's going to charge sideways. He's going to charge into this area. You can see the Wild Riders have got into the Shadow Warriors. Here, they're under a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. So he's going to start angling away from the Dragon Princes into this other unit. A load of things are focusing on shooting at him, which means everything else is coming in unaccosted. It's a shame, Wild Riders are expensive, but look, he's doing a ton of damage to these Shadow Warriors, and he's pulled a load of units in here. These guys are really bunched up. They've been shepherded into a group, and here, Eternal Guard are kind of cutting off the pass here. These Eternal Guard are going to be able to get onto these Dragon Princes. These Dragon Princes want to stop this! Wild Hunters charging in. You can see the Wild Riders here are charging in, all with Shield of Thorns, giving them the extra damage, which means they're going to hit even harder when they charge into all these guys. 1 unit of Wild Riders, that 1 unit that charged in before. Earthblood trying to keep him going, but it's just too much. That one does break. But Shield of Thorns, Earthblood, everything here, pretty sturdy. But, I mean, the Dragon Princes did get a charge in, but they have been hit by the Curse of Andra here. So that's pretty great. They've had an Earthblood too. So this is looking a bit iffy, but the Glade Lord's on his way with the Helm of Discord. And with the Curse of Andra here, that puts Dragon Princes down to 0 melee attack and 24 melee defense. Sorry, 15 melee defense, which is basically pathetic. And there's Eternal Guard in here, and Wild Riders. They can't escape the Wild Riders, and the Eternal Guard are just jabbing them in the back. They're getting shredded. Also, I mean, look at this. These Shadow Warriors gone. These ones, they have come back, which is a pain. So Dragon Prince is gone. These Shadow Warriors gone. These White Lions almost gone. Everything else is being kept at bay. The Low Extractors are beating these White Lions, and so Lotus Moon is trying to give them some reprieve, trying to just back them up with something. So the Dragon Prince is charging in here to try and add something to the front line, knowing that this is in tatters. He needs something to protect these archers with besides the 1 unit of Dragon Princes. But they've already broken, and the Low Extractors are just staying here. They're just fighting. They just continue to fight. And those Dragon Princes do not want to be fighting like specialist armor-piercing anti-large units like this. So they're suffering a load of damage for a failed attempt at trying to save these guys. So they're having to pull back out. More units are getting broken. I mean, those archers are gone. Oh, sorry, those Shadow Warriors are gone. These archers are gone. They've been terrified away thanks to the dragon. And these guys, they're busy. Those White Lions will be busy for a long time. The Sisters of Thorn able to chase off the last of those Shadow Warriors. And here you can see the Spellsinger has chased off those Shadow Warriors. There's 1 more unit here, but they're busy on the Spellsinger while all of this is going down. You can see here the Dragon Prince have got completely surrounded by everything. And that Star of Avalon didn't quite hit them. It's hitting them a bit now, but they're already wavering, and they are totally surrounded. So they've been taken out. And rather than sit and fight Alariel, no, he's going to move on. He's going to move on to the next archers. He's just going to take 1 unit away from Lotus Moon at a time. He's just going to get every single one. Just get rid of them all, right? Alariel, she's not going to do anything on her own. She's all about supporting, right? You know, things like Files Protection and yeah, the Star of Avalon, Earthblood, right? Keeping your guys in the fight. She's a very good support lord, giving magic damage to things that are fighting things that have physical resist. It's great. She's great like that, but on her own, she's not going to fight a whole army. So no, just keep stripping away all these tools that Lotus Moon has. So here we go, another Helm of Discord. Those White Lions are in a lot of trouble. So yep, they're getting routed. And yeah, Sister Thorn's still going. Wild Hunter's still going. Wild Rider's still going. A bit of everything is still going. It's kind of crazy. So some archers have come back, but I mean, look at all this. All these cavalry can just charge straight through these guys. They don't have charge defense, you know. Here, though, a Tempest on the Glade Lord. This is a final FU. You can see the Spellsinger almost got routed off. Here, Breath Attack on the Shadow Warriors. And an Awakening of the Wood. So help stop them from shooting, maybe rout them off, not quite, but the Dryads are on the case. But here, with the Glade Lord so injured, Alarielle might be able to get in here. But an Earthblood, nice clutch Earthblood to keep the Glade Lord going. Unfortunately, no Helmet Discord anymore. We used those White Lions, which is a real pity. It would have been really useful here. It would have really made Alarielle a sitting duck, which would have been nice. Some poisoning going on though, thanks to the poison missiles. Extra damage from the Sister Thorn, and the Glade Lord is just going to be sat there fighting her for a while. But I think the Alarielle might win that. You know, if this was to go on forever, I think she might win. But unfortunately, the rest of the army is gone. The rest of it is gone. And yeah, if the rest of the army is gone and she can't land, she's just going to break because she's the last unit left and she's in the air. I'm pretty sure she just breaks. I'm not sure if it counts if you're in combat or not. I don't think I've ever actually ended a game where it's just two flyers in the air fighting each other at the end. I'm not sure. But yeah, close victory. Close victory. Alright, that sounds like, oh, it's a close victory. No, it's a close victory. That means it was a phenomenal win. That's what this means. This is Total War shorthand for goddamn. That's what that means. So, just amazing. That's absolutely fantastic display by FeLKoN. It's like such a tough matchup, usually. But that's the thing. I think with Lotus Moon is if you know exactly how to deal with his playstyle, it does make it very difficult for him. You know, Lotus Moon very capable. If people don't know to expect that kind of build, they're done. But people who know what he's going to bring, they tend to go with something very quick that can kill very quickly. So you just, you know, you catch up to a unit, it's dead. That's what you want to do. If you can catch something, you want it dead immediately so you can move on to something else or get out of harm's way again. You've got to have these fast, you know, hit and runs, but it's got to be hit and then run straight at something else to hit that. You've got to keep that pace to deal with Lotus Moon, and FeLKoN just did it. You know, he didn't bring any ranged units. He didn't try and compete there. He didn't bother. It would just limit the amount of strength he could have, you know, charging in. So he just went all in, and it was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, two games I've seen this week that are just Wood Elves beating High Elves, despite how terrible it is. I mean, yeah, conventional army, just a ton of spearmen and archers, and you're usually fine. You know, that's usually all you need. Things like War Dancers will kill spearmen, but they'll just get killed by the archers before they can get near. Eternal Guard tend to lose out against normal spearmen, so that's not so great either. You know, Treekin and stuff, they can't really kill anything quick enough to really make a dent, even though they, you know, they won't die immediately to a load of archer fire. There's just a load of things the High Elves have. It's just really tough. The whole rock paper scissors thing is basically just they have all of the tools to deal with Wood Elves. It's pretty grim, but this was just phenomenal. This was phenomenal. Oh, I'm so proud of you, FeLKoN. And but well played, Lotus Moon. I mean, God, the pressure you were under there. I think the map certainly helped because it meant that FeLKoN could close the gap so much faster than if it was on basically any other map. And that immediately gave them the advantage. Because, yeah, with a rush army, where you don't have to rush as far, it's a lot harder to get people into position, you know, and make sure those gaps are plugged up, and make sure you've got, you know, the right units in the right places. If you don't have that time to quickly prepare, you're doomed. And that's exactly what happened here. It was marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one as much as I did. Because then you'll definitely be sticking around. If you did, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.